Hello everybody, my name is Izzy, and once again I am back with the week 2 update on the 100 Days of Drawing Comics Challenge. It actually hasn't been too bad, but anyway, this week's episode is focused more on main character Mizu, a little bit of Saku, a little bit of Natsume. I'm sure none of you remember any of their names, but I'm gonna say them anyway because you guys have to remember it. I have been struggling a little bit lately on finding a nice recording spot, making a quiet background. I hope you guys can't hear much of my background, but I'm trying to tune it out as much as I can. I'll put some background music over this, but should be alright. How you guys doing? You good? Good? Everybody's good? Fun fact, but the skin for me just seems to be like the nicest part. Like, I hate doing line art. I know every artist has like their one thing that they hate, and I know some people who like despise coloring with like a burning passion, but that's okay because you can do black and white. But I personally love color. I think that's my favorite part, and I don't know, it's very soothing. I was never really into like coloring books when I was younger, but when I like go outside of the lines and I can doodle whatever I want, it brings me down. Something I learned while doing this challenge is that obviously it's very time consuming, but you have to learn how to talk a lot. And it's a little different than when you play games narrating everything, because I'm not sure how to narrate while I draw because I don't talk while I draw. I'm learning a little bit. I like to think so. Maybe, kind of, sort of. It is very different from other people seeing what I'm drawing, because usually I don't show people what I draw, let alone record a video, but it's interesting. So I've noticed recently, looking up videos of other people doing the Drawing Comics 100 Days Challenge, and some people missing a couple days, and I was really scared. I thought I was gonna miss one day, but it's not the end of the world if you miss a day. It's okay. Then you can make it 101 days, like Dalmatians. But I've noticed that they talk a lot about like tips that they do and like some kind of tutorial or advice, and I'm not sure what kind of advice to give, so I guess I'll just talk about my progress. I mean, what kind of advice could I give you guys? For line art, I've noticed that it can be a little faster if you draw with thicker lines instead of really thin lines, although thin lines look very pretty. Try and do your line art in like one foul swoop, like instead of doing a bunch of little brush strokes over and over, trying to get that nice line, maybe give it a little rugged effect if you're into that art style. But I've learned that if you try and train your hand to do it all in like one big line, it'll go by a lot faster. It does take a little bit of practice, but I obviously have no idea what I'm doing while I'm drawing these backgrounds, so I do the same thing in the end. I mean, if you guys have caught up on the series and you know what just happened, this is just a recap of what was going on, you know, on the inside. Everything will obviously be explained when the episode comes out the 19th, and if you guys haven't heard the sad news that I don't really have all the time that I used to have anymore. So I can't publish out the episodes every month like I used to, but they will all still be published on the 19th. It's just every other month on the 19th now. I don't have as much time, but I also like to have that break in between for myself, like some mental health days, you know, a little breather here and there. Like, I put this deadline on myself, and I'm very competitive and stubborn, so I always try and reach my deadlines if I make them. But I get really hard on myself when I don't make them, and it gets me very upset. So this is also nice for me, and I'm trying to make the episodes longer, so it'd be nice for you guys. I know my episodes I'm getting a little shorter than when I first put the series out. The first 3 episodes, they were a little long, and they were like the perfect length that I wanted them to be at, but they took me multiple months in advance before I published them. So it's a little different than now because I'm on a time crunch, but that's okay. I squeeze it in there. So if you guys haven't noticed this about me, I'm very socially awkward, and I don't know how to keep the conversation going sometimes when I'm just talking by myself. But who am I kidding? I can't keep a conversation going if I'm talking in real life. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing, but I thought it would be fun to try and record my challenges. If you haven't noticed, I set a playlist aside on my channel. I know there's only 2 YouTube videos out right now, but obviously I want there to be some more out in the future. but I just want to set out a couple art challenges first because I find them fun. I find things on either social media like Instagram, YouTube, sometimes Twitter, but I don't really use TikTok and all that. I don't know. I think it was just kind of killed a while ago. My main spot is definitely Instagram. A lot of things I do see on Instagram though is I look up a lot of webtoon artists so I can do my collabs with. If you don't know this about me or don't catch up on the series, I try to have a thank you for reading collab artist with me. Basically, it's an OC switch. It doesn't have to be a webtoon artist, but I have found some lovely webtoon artists that I've been trying to work with or that have been really busy lately, but they still want to work with me. Anyway, my point is, if you are an artist willing to do a small collab with me, let me know. I'm always up for collabs. I have 2 in the makings currently, and they're very fun. I always meet some very nice people. Cute little way to make some art friends. And oh my god, how long does this line art take? Jeez, I feel like I've been on this forever. I hate line art. Line art and backgrounds. I just don't like it. At least for anatomy, nobody's the greatest at anatomy, but you can look up reference poses, but oh my god. Line art and backgrounds, they're killing me. Oh, if I had an assistant who could do that for me, that would be amazing. If you are willing, please DM me. Man, I'm getting bored. You guys want to know some secrets about what's coming up in the next episode? Well, if any of you stalk my social media, actually, you wouldn't even need to stalk it because I'm pretty sure it's one of the first few things you see. It might even be pinned, but on my Instagram, I post a lot about my series. If you didn't know, I had 3 of them, but my main one is Starlight, that's out right now. The other 2 are not out. Both are in the makings. Mostly the focus is on Starlight. So I think it's the 3rd PCC is the Starlight cover photo. You can see almost the whole gang, kind of. If you look in the very top corner, you see a pair of gloves that are drawn in very poor anatomy. He's coming up. If you see the guy in the corner with the blue hair, he's coming up. How else can I spoil this? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm just talking out of my own ass. I don't know. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. If you guys know any cool art challenges, let me know. I love art challenges. I used to do them a little bit ago before I was on social media. I obviously didn't record myself. I barely showed people my art back then. I barely show people my art now. But now that I'm more known-ish, I'm not one of the most popular creators out there. But you know what, guys? I'm curious. What do you look for in a series or a show? Like, what do you want to see or expect or hope for in anything you watch? Hell, maybe even anything you play, because I know a lot of people play games, and I used to play games a lot, but I don't have time anymore. I'm just curious. I have a journal filled of like my favorite tropes. Some of them actually happen in the show, and I go around asking my family, like, hey, what would just be something crazy that you would never expect, or that would be like super funny or super cool, or hey, that's super dark? Because I think I mentioned this in the last video. I have a little bit of a dark side. I love anything that's like thriller, murder related, and that's not too much in Starlight because I want this to be more of like a funny comedy thing going on. The Crypt is definitely more dark like that, so all y'all psychos out there, I got you. 2024. But yeah, I'm just curious. Let me know if there's anything that you would really want to see, or even something that you don't like a really annoying trope that you're like, God, I really hope that doesn't happen because that's really stupid and weird. Anyway, like I said before, I'm kind of running out of things to say. I'm just saying nonsense at this point, but I think I'll wrap this up because editing this is gonna take forever, and it'll probably be posted the next day. In that event, happy birthday, Papa! I will see you guys next week, and I am signing off. Farewell, stars. you.